Hey guys, Dr. John Dandridge here. I want to go over a few of my favorite exercises that we can do each and every day. They're very fundamental, very easy to do to help relieve hip pain and strengthen our hips, to help stabilize and bring stability and strength to our pelvis so that we don't have to have any kind of pain or discomfort or limitations, okay? So these are some of my really favorites. They're very fundamental. And the idea, first let's start with a concept, is that we are, as a society, we sit way too much. Most of us are seated far too long. We have a lot of flexion in our hips, right, among other things. But overall, as a group, as a population, as a society, we are too much in flexion, right? This is the problem, right? And so if flexion is the problem, extension is the solution. So anytime we're trying to rehabilitate ourselves or strengthen ourselves to better adapt to the stresses of life, we should think about that. Hey, I'm more than likely I'm too flexed. So then the solution should be, how can I train? How can I work on being more in extension, right? So anytime we are thinking about making workout programs or doing things at home that help us, combat the stresses that we're under during the day, we should think about that. Getting into more extension, training and exercising in extension, right? That's gonna help tremendously. So, real easy thing that we can do to target the hips is a what we call a tabletop. Okay, and a tabletop is something that is very easy to do, but there may be people out there with limitations, and I'm going to give you a few things that we can do where you can still enjoy the movement, but if you have limitations, there are ways that we can modify it. All right, so this is how we're gonna. This is a regular tabletop. All right, and this may be really easy for a lot of people, but if you have limitations, we're going to talk about how you can modify that. So a tabletop traditionally is just like this. Okay, we want to get extended in our head, in our neck. And then if you look at my hips are moving from flexion to extension, right? And I have to use my glutes to help maintain my hips in extension. When we are sitting all day, our glutes are not really working. They get really weak, our hip flexors get really tight, and so this movement is the exact opposite of that. That's why it's so nice. All right, so we're like this. I have to use my glutes to really keep my hips extended, okay? If that's a problem for you, then what we can do is you can just lay on the ground, okay? Let me get in a better position here. We can just lay on the ground and we can just pick up our hips like this, okay? So this is a little bit of a modification, all right? We can do like that. We can push our elbows into the ground, all right, and we can look back around, back behind us like this, okay? So now I'm using my vision and incorporating other aspects. I'm pushing my elbows into the ground, so now I'm really working my whole backside as I extend up, okay? So that's another way to do it. A third option would be using like a bench or something like this. A sofa would work. Or if you have like a bench, sofa, something like that. If you go to a gym, they probably have something like this, like a bench that you can use. So what we can do, this is going to help if you have like shoulder problems. You can just get your back on here, your arms across it. They can just stay relaxed. And basically what I'm doing here is the hip extension, right? So the tabletop. So I'm lifting up, right? I'm lifting up like this. I got to fire my glutes to bring my hips from flexion into extension. From flexion into extension, right? And that's the motion, right? That's what we're after, right? And the more that we can do that, the more we are balancing ourselves out from being super flexed all day long if we work at a desk or whatever it is we do. So really fundamental, very, very easy to do. And you can do this as much as you want. It's really great for you. Okay, enjoy. If you have any questions, let us know.